Welcome to today's market report. European stock markets traded largely higher on Thursday, helped by positive corporate earnings, particularly in the heavily weighted oil sector, following the Federal Reserve's decision to keep to its easy money policy in place. DAX in Germany traded 0.1% lower, CAC 40 rose 0.6% to a new 52-week high, and UK's FTSE 100 climbed 0.5%. The first quarter corporate earnings season continued apace on Thursday, with the oil and gas sector in the spotlight. Royal Dutch Shell stock rose 1.7% after the oil major reported net income of $3.23 billion, its highest profit since the third quarter of 2019, following the recovery in global oil and gas markets. The company also reduced its debt burden and went ahead with a planned 4% increase to its dividend payout. Equinor ASA also raised its dividend after reporting a sharp rebound in profit. Total stock also rose 1.4% after the French energy group reported net income of $3 billion, similar to the levels it was generating before the coronavirus pandemic hit profits. Airbus stock rose 2.7% after the aircraft manufacturer posted higher first quarter core earnings. Standard Chartered stock rose 2.8% after the UK-based bank posted a higher than expected 18% rise in quarterly pre-tax profit. And Nokia soared over 11% after the Finnish telecom network equipment maker reported better than expected first quarter revenue and profit, helped by a growth in sales of 5G equipment. German carrier Deutsche Lufthansa stock fell 0.6% after the German carrier posted another net loss in the first quarter, albeit a smaller one thanks to drastic cost cuts. Euronext stock fell 2.2% after the European exchange operator completed its acquisition of Borsa Italiana from the London Stock Exchange Group in a deal worth 4.4 billion euros. A deal that was first announced in October and received a green light from European regulators in March. The stock was hit by the announcement and is issuing 579 million of new equity to Italian banks, CDP and Intesa Sanpaolo as part of the deal. The US Federal Reserve left its benchmark rate unchanged in the range of 0% to 0.25% on Wednesday and maintained its monthly pace of bond buying at $120 billion as widely expected. In the press conference that followed the policy statement, Fed Chair Jerome Powell continued to signal that the central bank was in no rush to adjust its accommodative stance, even as vaccine rollouts and fiscal stimulus bolster the country's economic recovery. Economic data releases from Europe Thursday will center around German unemployment and inflation numbers for April. Oil prices edged higher on Thursday, with a smaller than expected rise in crude stockpiles last week, adding to the general market confidence of a strong rebound in global demand this year. US crude futures traded 0.5% higher at $64.20 per barrel. Brent contract rose 0.5% to $67.13 per barrel. Gold futures rose 0.3% to $1,779.35 per ounce. On the FX front, GBPUSD remains above price support at 138.10 to 138.09, as well as its rising 55-day average. Credit Suisse looks for a retest of key price resistance at 140.01 to 140.17, with a move above here needed to mark a more convincing base. The bank says support moves to 139.39 initially, with 138.90 now ideally holding to keep the immediate risk higher in the range. Below can see a fallback to the 55-day average and the price support at 138.68 to 138.58, but with fresh buyers expected here. Westpac praises that easing of COVID restrictions is coinciding with a rebounding GBPUSD, but political uncertainty into the 6th of May regional elections should cap GBP gains. Germany is expected to report a drop of 1.5% in output in the first quarter of 2021. In the view of FX analysts, the publication of German GDP looks like a win-win situation for euro-dollar bourse, as expectations may be too low and amid the currency pair's upside momentum. The pair euro-dollar has broken key resistance from its March high, 61.8% retracement of its quarter 1 fall, and downtrend from the beginning of the year at 121.03 to 121.18 band. The dollar index was flat at 90.61, trading not far away from a 9-week low. Dollar yen was at 108.78. This is today's market news. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.